Chard is such a versatile vegetable. One of my favorite ways to use it is to team it with pasta. A spaghetti dish with plenty of chard leaves is a favorite. Start by cutting 3 or 4 garlic cloves into thin slices. We're going to heat a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Cook off this garlic 1 to 2 minutes, and I want it to have a tiny bit of color on it. I've got a little color on these, and I'm going to go ahead and take them using a slotted spoon here. I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of panko and get some nice brown color on these. They start out crisp and they get crisper. This is going to go on top of the pasta to give it some crunch. I always like to build texture contrast in dishes. In a nice big skillet, I want about 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to add anchovies. You may say, gee, I don't like anchovies. Well, you probably eat them all the time in dishes where you don't know they're there. And you're not going to know they're there in this dish. What it's going to add is a saltiness and umami. I'm going to break these up into little tiny pieces. 2 or 3 minutes on this. And some chilies. I'm using about half of a serrano here, and I've taken the seeds and the membranes out. And then we want to go ahead and add the chard. And there's a couple of ways you can get the chard off of the stem. You can just take your hand and pull it like this, or you can use a knife. You want these into pretty good sized pieces. I use about 5 cups. You want to start out with a lot because you don't end up with what looks like a lot in the end. And when it starts to wilt, you want to add the spaghetti. I have about 12 ounces, and I have reserved a cup of the cooking water. I also want to add about 3 tablespoons of butter, and that cooking water, about 3/4 of a cup off the heat. We want to add some vibrancy to the dish, so we're going to use the zest of a whole lemon, which is about 2 teaspoons, and a little bit of juice, and some mint. And give it a good stir. We're going to be careful not to add too much salt to this because we've got the salt that was in the water that cooked the pasta. We've got the salt in the anchovies, and we're going to have some salt on the final flourish of pecorino cheese. Okay, let's dish it up. Add that pecorino cheese right on top. Now, the crunchy bits. A spaghetti dish with plenty of chard leaves